Time continues to move. I don't have. Okay, let's get going. It should be posted on Google Classroom by now, but you should have a new social studies assignment.
Something versus something, huh?
Yes, I will say it if you stop talking over me. So go to Google Classroom. Under social studies, you have a new assignment called Patricians versus Plebeians. It's close. Patricians versus Plebeians. Okay, these are two types of Roman people. So we're going to open up the Google slide. I don't know how far we're going to get today, but let's open up the Google slides as well as the PDF with the information on it. Okay, so let's get both zoomed in a little bit. Dallin just said that 100 is perfect, so that's not bad. I'm going to do 50 just so that you guys can kind of see where I'm at. Okay. So essentially what we're going to do, each, there's a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 on each box of information. Based on that, we're going to go over to the Google Slides, and this one has a 1 in the corner. We're going to answer the questions, not in complete sentences today. You're just going to fill in the blanks. You do not need to use complete sentences. And we're just going to go through and answer these questions. So, as I've said, we're going to kind of go a little bit quick because we only have about 25 minutes left. So we're going to start with section number 1. I will read it to you, and we'll go from there. So number 1 says, the city of Rome was first settled by the Latin tribe around the year 753 BCE. They instituted a monarchy and made Romulus their first king. So this dude is kind of important. Romulus and Remus are the two people that kind of founded Rome, basically. Good. Romulus and Remus. So Romulus, it was made their first king. Then in 616 BCE, a more powerful tribe known as the Patricians seized control of Rome, so they took over. They would rule the city until 509 BCE when the Roman people overthrew the last Patrician king, Tarquin the Great. The Roman people then created a new form of government called a republic. This is a type of government where people elect representatives to make decisions for the community. So like, let's say we're in the classroom. There's 25 of you guys, 24 of you guys in class. We choose let's say 4 people to represent everybody in the classroom. That's what a republic would be. So those 4 people would come to me and be like, hey, Miss Jones, the class doesn't like this. And then we talk about it and maybe fix it. Unless I'm mean and then I say, no, we're not fixing it. Depends on my mood. So, but that's how a republic works. You elect a few people, you choose a few people to go to your leader and say, hey, we'd like to change this, or this is how we want to run things, blah, blah, blah. We'll see. Maybe. Then it says, however, while still under the Etruscan rule, I don't know how to say it. Etruscans divided Roman society into 2 classes. A high class, so like the upper class, was called the Patricians, and the lower class was called the Plebeians. The Plebeians made up about 95% of the population. So that means that every 95 people out of 100 people were plebeian. They were the lower class. That meaning many in Latin, the plebes served as peasants, laborers, and craftsmen. They were also required to pay taxes and serve in the military. Patricians, on the other hand, were the elite members of ancient Rome. While only 5% of the population, they were given the best land and often advised the Etruscan kings. Patres means father in Latin, and patricians were often viewed as caretakers of Rome, much like a father to his family. So, there's our selection number 1, a little bit of reading. If we go over to our Google Slides, titled number 1, first thing we need to do, it says, after reading this section, what would you title it? What would you name this section? Any ideas? But all of this is information about Rome, so we want to get a little bit more specific. Well, again, this whole article is about the plebeians versus the patricians, so we want to get a little bit more specific. More specific. Populations of it? Okay. That sounds good. Okay. Then we need to figure out what year Rome was founded. Say 753 BCE. Cool. Okay. Then it goes to the description of a plebeian. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this for you guys. Okay. When we talk about the plebeians, the lower class, what percent of them were plebeians?
95%.
Good. This is a 95% of the people were plebeians. I'm pretty sure it uses the exact words. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Okay, 95% of all Romans were plebeians, so that's 1 and 2. Yeah, number 2 is typing in that second word. It's not, that's fine. It's not lined up super well, but okay. Let's look at number 3 and 4. What were they required to pay? Money, but what's it called? When you pay, everybody has to pay them in April. Taxes, good. They were required to pay taxes, and they were required to serve in what? Good, the military. The plebeians, yes, they had to. Because the patricians were like the high class. They apparently were too good to serve in the military. Okay. What does plebs mean? Many. That's because there were many of them that were in the lower class. 95% of them. So if there were 100 people in Rome, 95 of them would be plebeians, and only 5 of them would be the patricians.
How are the Patricians so mean?
That's just how it was. All right. How we going? Am I going too quick or are we doing good? How about online? Too quick or doing fine? All right. Let's look at description of the patricians then. Only what percent of them were patricians? 5% of them. Good. Only 5% of them were patricians.
The Patricians were mean back then. No, they weren't mean. Yes, they were. They're false. They had like the best man.
But they didn't share it with anybody. I don't know how big Rome was.
That was probably really big.
Okay, number 3. Choose blank to the king blank. I don't know this one off the top of my head. Only 5%. Yeah, what was the king's name? Romulus. The Patricians were the people, like that was their city. They chose advisors, right? To the king. They chose.
Okay, here's one. Aside from the U.S., the role of countries, what country would it be? The U.S. Besides the U.S. No, Oregon. He said Oregon.
Oregon is in the U.S.
Canada. I would be. I'd be the leader of Canada.
My computer is gonna die, so I'm going to move.
I'd be the leader of Australia. I'd be the leader of China. Them COVID stuff. Oh, they want to go back to that. They want to make a war with boys. I wanted to make a war with the U.S. by making a virus. They did not make the virus.
It is nothing yet.
Started them so they did.
No. Okay, we're gonna move on from this topic, please. Finish what you need to be typing. Again, move on from the topic. All right, there we go. What does patres mean? Father. Thank you. Okay, get that typed out, please. Yeah, padre in Spanish means father too, yeah. Spelled differently, but
Somewhere in the second class,
not yet.
I should call my dad Padre.
and my
His mother, yeah.
I always say that to mom. And then my day. I'm supposed to be about it. Ooh.
All right, let's go ahead and look at what slide number 2 has on it first. So we're going to be talking about the ruling tribe, what a republic is, number of people, responsibilities, and how people are chosen to be in those things. So let's go ahead and read number 2. Yes, Charlie. Oh. Let's go ahead and read number 2. It says, in 509 BCE, patricians and plebeians rose together against the Etruscan monarchy to seize control back of Rome. So they were taken over for a little bit by these Etruscans, and now they're going to get it back, right? I did not say Egyptian. Egyptian and Etruscans are different things. They overthrew the last Etruscan king, Tarquin the Great, and expelled him from the city. The Romans invented a new form of government called the Republic. Instead of opening the democratic process to all people, like earlier had happened in ancient Athens with the Council of 500, the Romans created a group of 300 men called the Senate that would run this country. Once elected, the senators served for life, made laws for the city, and served as judges on the most important legal matters. The Senate also chose 2 leaders who commanded Roman affairs. These 2 leaders were called consuls. One focused on maintaining order and security at home, while the other commanded the military to protect the city from foreign threats. Each served a 1-year term. However, in terms of crisis, one could be made a temporary dictator for 6 months, or until order was restored. So, first, on the other slide, we need to come up with a new title. What should we title this one? 300 men, some laws, the council. How about government? You guys are all saying things about government, so let's title it government. Okay, and then I need, whoa.
What happened?
Oh, it's because it's in tablet mode. I was like, why does this keep happening? Okay, now, while I'm doing this, I need you guys to go and figure out who was ruling Rome before they tried to overthrow or like come back and get their city back.
The person that took it over.
Who took them over originally?
The Grovers.
The Egyptian monarchy.
Good, the Patricians.
Livia Palsy, please come to the office. Livia Palsy, please come to the office.
Okay.
Healthy, they're white men.
Okay, now I'm waiting for you guys to stop talking. Skylar, put your computer away now. A republic was established when the patricians rebelled. What is a republic? It is a group of people, but what do?
They rule. They rule.
No, not yet. In a republic, we literally just talked about it. You guys were like, oh, we should try that.
They ran the country.
But they do run, no,
That's a lie.
nope. A republic, how do they elect their leaders? What do they do?
Vote.
They vote,
They vote their leaders.
where they choose representatives to be their leaders. Just like I said, let's say that you guys voted on 4 people that you wanted to represent the classroom in a school government or something like that.
What do you do?
Okay. All right. Now, the next question, how many people were in the Senate?
300 people.
300. They elected 300 people.
They elected 3,000 people.
Skylar, what did I just ask you to do? Okay. Then we've got, what are the responsibilities of the senators? Well, then we need 3 responsibilities. So go back to the thing. Made laws for the city. Okay. Made laws. Were judges. What else did they do? One more thing. There's one more thing. What? No, those are the consuls. They I mean, it's in that same sentence that you read. But that's not a responsibility. That's just what they did. Or how long they had it, I guess. So read through it. It's right. It says the senators served for life. They made laws for the city and served as judges. We got that. And then it says the Senate also chose 2 leaders to they don't the Senate doesn't command the Roman affairs. What do? They chose the 2 leaders. What were those 2 leaders called? No. They chose the consuls. The consuls are the 2 people that manage the Roman affairs. Well, they're called the consuls. Tyler. Okay, and then who are the consuls? Yes, they are people, but what were they doing? The consuls took care of Roman affairs. So one of them was the military leader. What was the other one? What did the other guy do? No. No. I think that was in Greece.
Oh, yeah.
If needed, but and the other one basically took care of the city. They were like a mayor, almost, right? Yeah, so the military leader would probably go out and fight with the Roman people and lead the wars and the battles, and the other one would stay at the city and make sure that everything was good back home. How were they chosen? Good. They were voted in by the Senate, like chosen by the Senate. Tyler, put your computer away, please. Okay. Maybe about 1 more minute to get that. Yep. Yep. That's all he does all day. Okay, we are going to read one more. We're going to do number 3. We have time. We're going to go past noon probably, but that's okay. So we're going to read number 3 and answer the questions on number 3, and we will be done. Number 3 is pretty short. Number 3 says, while the Roman Republic was more fair system, it still only benefited the patrician elite. Plebeians were barred from the political process, could not vote or serve in the Senate, and could never serve as consul. Roman law was also very biased against plebeians. Laws were not written down, so they were changed constantly to favor the patricians. Plebeians eventually grew tired and frustrated with living under the patrician rule. So, in 494 BCE, they began to organize a protest. Since 95% of the Romans were plebeians, and as a result dominated the military, plebeian leaders decided to use this to their advantage. known as the conflict of the orders. Plebeians demanded more political power, or they would have no choice but to leave Rome. With the potential for an absent military, the patrician elite grew worrisome that they would endanger the safety of their city. So remember, the plebeians made up the whole military. The patricians, the high-class people, just sat there and were like, yeah, go do what we want you to do. And the plebeians were like, no, we're done. You got to treat us somewhat fairly or else we're going to leave. So that's kind of what's happening here. So let's retitle this. What will we title this one? That's good. The rebellion or the protest. Good. The rebellion or the protest are good.
Miss Jones, can you send Misty to the office for a moment?
Yes. All right. So let's start with answering these. Number one, plebeians were blank from the new political process, just like blank. Let's go back over there. Could the plebeians be part of this political process? Not barred, which means they were banned. They could not take part in the political process.
They were in a band.
I don't know what it wants on there. Just like what? Okay. They were banned from the new political process. I don't know what it wants us to put on the second one. Just like what? I don't know. So we're going to skip that blank because I don't know exactly what it's looking for there. But on our next one, guys, there's a lot of noises happening. Stop them, please. Thank you. Number two, laws were very blank. Skylar, do not just stare at him because you were doing it too. Laws are very what? Well, they are powerful, but there's a specific word. I don't know what goes there. Do you?
Unfair.
Good. Laws are very unfair. They're very biased. And who did they favor? No. The patricians. Okay, they favored the patricians on this one.
Last night I heard it, Karen.
Last night I didn't hear you guys talking, which is exactly what I want right now. No, because I was just at home and not around you guys. Stop talking, please. Well, right now I'm getting very frustrated. We're trying to finish this, and you guys can't stop talking over me. Number three, only who could be what? Well, could the plebeians be any part of the government? No, so what does that leave for this blank? Only the patricians. Could be what? What could they serve as? Basically any government official, right? Mainly though, they could not be consuls, ever. Not allowed to be consuls. They could not be those top two people that helped rule Rome.
What is
The consul is almost like the president of Rome. Right. Okay. Then it says, laws were blank, blank down. Well, they were unfair, but were they? We know they were biased. Not what we're looking for. It's helpful if you guys go back and look at the paragraphs. Just saying. Thank you. They were not written down.
They were not trespassing.
nobody actually wrote down the laws. It's not that people forgot them, it's that they could be changed constantly. Yep, they wanted them, the patricians wanted the laws to be in their favor. They wanted them to be for them. So the patricians would constantly what? Good, they would constantly change the laws. Okay, again, focus. Alex, have you typed a single word down?
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm going to check this later when we leave.
Oh, God.
Okay. Good. So they kept changing the laws all the time. And then the plebeians were like, well, we're going to rebel. And what was that called? What was that rebellion called? Yep, go back and look. What was it called? Good. The conflict of the orders. The conflict of, whoa, sorry, my bad. Hit too many buttons. Of the orders. What the heck? Okay. So, yeah, we are going to finish this tomorrow. So once you're done, you do not need to turn it in yet, but you do need to make sure you get done up to number 3 so that tomorrow we can finish this up and get it turned in. Quickly. So those of you that are online, you guys are